have been putting off finishing up the necessary inset piece for the Roger Rabbit gun holder. I just I've spent so much time on it. It's not 100% where I want it, but I think once it's covered with felt, it's going to look fantastic. So, it's time to just buckle down, get them all done, create a test pool, and build a case for this thing. I think it'll come out really well, but I keep putting it off because I'm just struggling with it. So what I'm going to do is I have a limited amount of silicone, and I don't want to go crazy because that would take an awful lot to fill in all those indentations. So I'm going to brush it on. I'm going to put some thickener in it so that it's not so runny. And then I have some old molds and some molds of some projects that just simply failed. And I'll cut them up and put that into to bring this up to the level that I need it. And we'll see what happens from there. It's been a few days since I shot the last video around the Toon pistol gun and case. So I got the silicone poured. I did a brush on method, which I didn't really need to do. The silicone I had was already thick because it was old and it was hard to spread. But I got a decent mold. Originally I thought I was going to do a two-part mold so that I could make replicas of the box inlay using resin. But quite frankly, I don't know how to do that with the shape of this. What I've done instead is I actually vacuum formed a piece of styrene over it and got a decent impression. Very pleased with it. It could be cleaned up, but I think once I get the red flocking on it to simulate red velvet, it's going to look spot on. I've spent a couple hours this evening basically mocking up a case in foam core to try and understand the dimensions and how I want to construct the box. Again, I shouldn't say again, I think it's going to work out pretty well. Let me show you what I've done. It's about 10 o'clock Tuesday night. Once again, kids are in bed, wife's doing her own thing, so it's build time. I was very pleased with the way the mock-up box for the Toon pistol and bullets came out, so now I'm building the actual wood box. For those of you who watch tested.com, that's the channel with Jamie and Adam from Mythbusters. Lots of great building tips, and so Adam Savage loves to make boxes, and I'm stealing a bunch of his tips for how to do it. So I'll basically make a box that's inclusive of the top and the bottom, and then once it's assembled, cut it in half so I'll have a perfect matching top and bottom. They'll fit together really well. Right now I'm just measuring out the strips of all of the pieces that I need, inner walls, outer walls, and the lip. And I'll cut that and start doing some basic assembly. Into rapid build mode and didn't take a lot of progress video this time around, but good progress on the Roger Rabbit gun and bullets case. I showed you the vacuum formed form for the inset piece. I bought some stretchable velvet. I actually had to go around town to find a fabric store that had it, and did some practicing. So I lined the piece that will go inside the lid, which is just a piece of foam core using spray adhesive. And then of the two vacuum formed inset pieces, one was not great, so that was my test. And it turns out it's really not overly difficult to line this stuff. The stretchable velvet follows the contours really well and allows you to push out the wrinkles so you end up with a nice smooth surface. And then I did the final piece that I'll use for this particular case. The case itself has been completely fabricated, and I just finished staining it. I'm getting down to the fine details on the Roger Rabbit Toon pistol case. So what I've been doing is looking at tons and tons of screenshots, and then spent some time in some art software on the Mac to reproduce the graphics, and been printing them out. So the last thing to do is apply them to the case. The Roger Rabbit case and display is completely finished. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out, and I actually had so much fun with it, and I had some lessons learned from the first one that I did, that I actually did a second one. So let me show you what I've done. The overall box has had some weathering done to it. There's the inset piece, and of course all the painted resin props. You can see we have a lip on the inside, which helps guide the lid and gives it a more finished look, again, as was shown in the movie. Of course, the dedication piece that Yosemite Sam made. One of the things I would have liked to have done but didn't quite figure it out is in the movie the box definitely has some kind of stopper to keep it from flipping back any further. I could not find hinges that would allow me to do that, so I've just added this piece of ribbon to stop it. And there's a close-up of the hinges across the back. This is the first completed case. I tried some foil label this time. Yeah, I kind of do and don't like it at the same time. I think it is shows better than a transparent one, but it sticks out a bit much. Slightly different interpretation on the lock. This one's just flat rather than being inset into the case. Same stopper. One of the things that I found out the hard way is that when you do the brass screw insets, do them first, because I had actually already put this piece in, and the screw came through and grabbed at the velvet. Not terrible, but that's how you learn. This was definitely a longer term project. I kept putting it away and then bringing it back out again. Ultimately, very happy with the way it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed the build, and we'll see you next time.